earlier parts of their career usually sway away from starting a family that quickly because of the, as you know, the demand and the schedule and everything that goes along with being in a relationship and trying to juggle and manage. And this is the industry that has probably the highest divorce rate. For you, how was that transition from being, carefree and then all of a sudden being thrust into fatherhood, then thrust into, being a married man and all the things that come along with that, and then trying to balance a career in the industry?
All right. So when I found out I was having a baby, I always do something called mentorship. So I went to my friends who had children because I believe that you should get advice from people who are where you want to be in your life. Some people get the wrong advice, and that's why they go in the wrong direction. You have to. I would not seek, if I know my friend has been divorced 2 or 3 times, I'm not asking him for the information on how do I keep this relationship right, how do I be a good father. If I know this person's a deadbeat, they don't take care of their child support, they're not doing the right thing by their family, I don't ask those people for, information on, or what do you call it, advice whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to people who I honestly respect and love that are actors and entertainers in this business that have families and they have a good unit. How are you making it work? I was scared to death. Why? Because it was unexpected. 2, now you have another mouth to feed and a lot comes along with it. In the acting world, when you have to just take care of yourself, that's good. But then when you have a family that you have to take care of, whole new story, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
Whole new story. Now you're like, do I need to, keep doing my entrepreneur and get back into this, get back into that? But I want to stay on course. Why? I want to stay on course because at this level, through the grace of God, where I'm at, one job can sustain you for 2-3 years if you play your money right.
Mm-hmm.
One series regular role, that's it. You can be good, especially if you live within your means and you're not doing anything stupid and
Mm-hmm.
buying frivolous nonsense. You can be very, very comfortable. And
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people, they just go above and beyond. I don't have that problem because I was around all that shit when I was a bodyguard. And I have friends that got the Rolls and all that other stuff, so I don't need to buy it. I can borrow it.
And I see the rise you ride.
I'll go and pay the money and rent it. They give me it at half price, and I'm living life.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to worry about, I'm going to go spend $250,000, $300,000 on that car. I stay within my range. My biggest thing right now is acquiring a home that I can really be proud of and that my family can grow into. So moving forward, shout out to my friend Dave Famiro. I was scared to death. Dave Famiro, he worked with me on One Life to Live. He was on Power. He was a detective. He's on the LA show with Gabrielle Union.
He's a great talent, man. I've always loved his work for years.
My friend for 20 years. His wife, Melissa Famiro, on the Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Love them, my people. So I said to him, bro, I'm nervous. I don't know what to do. I'm having a kid. This is real. I was scared to death. You know what he said to me? I can't believe it. It was so beautiful. He said, Sean, God knows that you have another mouth to feed. Don't worry about it. You're going to be just fine. He says, God knows that you have more to take care of. And I was like, wow. It's not about me. It was about God sustaining me. All of a sudden, all these shows you started hitting. Boom. And I'm talking money, made more money than I ever made in my career. Started making money in 6 months than I did previously. So I've learned that we can't forget to trust in God. Many times we think that we got the answers. He has the answers. He knows what's happening, before we even know what's happening. He just wants to see how you're going to act under pressure. Are you gonna, throw your cards in? Are you just going to stay loyal and keep doing the work? And through the grace of God, man, these jobs continue to keep coming, and everybody is great. I just remember, he says, God knows that you have more mouths to feed, and he just continued to keep providing, but I continue to doing my best to be a good person and just try to be a good father. And it's a lot of work, bro.
What's the thing about being like,
it's the best work you can do.
What's the thing like for you, like being obviously, at times being away, from your daughter obviously in the earlier parts, because when you got to book a show and you're off for a couple of weeks, or you're booking a movie and you're off for however long, how do you adjust to that transition? Like, how do you balance that?
I'm going to give you the honest answer, man. I don't want to sound like a bad guy, but it's true. Because I'm a very hands-on father, every morning, you see I do the Instagrams. She's in the car. I pick her up. We go to the park. We do the ice cream every day. When I have a moment to
You're
be away for
present.
15 days, I start missing them about a week out when it's time to go home. But the first 2 weeks, because we have FaceTime, we have phones, I can see them. I can look at the cameras in the house, seeing them in and out of the Ring doorbell. It feels like I'm still there.
There.
I miss, when she gives me that look with her eyes like this. I miss you, Dad. The other day, she was, kissing my picture on the wall. I started crying. I'm like, well, this is a part of it. This is the sacrifice. You have to be, you have to, whether it's LA, Georgia, I have to work and build a brand. That's what this is all about. And you want to sustain your family. And I'm glad that I did it when she was younger, so she's used to it. It's not the worst thing in the world, but I can't wait till I'm in a place when this COVID thing is done. I could have flown them out. On my days off, we could have, went, Laguna Beach, Newport Beach. I have friends all over the place. You know what I'm saying? I could have been down in Malibu, a million places I could have brought my family. When COVID is over, it gets easier because you could always just, hey, bring the kids. That's it.
Yeah. And now you got to.
money.
So, like,
but right now you can't because you're in the bubble. You can't have anyone come out, the testing, the blah, blah, blah. So I cannot wait when this is over because even if I...
You and me both, man.
Send the family out and travel and people can see each other. But for the most part, man, she's good. I check in every day. And being a father is a phenomenal thing. I would not be where I'm at in my career. It makes you more focused. You get past your own excuses because it's not about you no more. It's about you being a selfless person because you have a responsibility. Your kids didn't have to come here. Your actions brought them here. So, no matter what's going on, and sometimes kids make you want to just strangle them.
Did you, I mean, even from time when you started, did you always see yourself getting into the acting game eventually? Was that your first passion? Or did you have another passion and just sort of just, as you said, ended up in your lap?
I tell this in every story, and it's the God's honest truth. I grew up in Rockaway Beach. I have a love for the ocean. The water sports, the jet skis. I'm an extreme. I jump waves 10, 15 feet in the air. I love this shit. I was a lifeguard, and I wanted to be a firefighter. That's what all the guys did.
Same.
I still haven't got my firefighter. I wanted to be a firefighter because it gave you can work 72-hour shifts, have the rest of the week off. A lot of firefighters I know in Rockaway, they own shit. They have businesses in Costa Rica. They've lived pretty good lives. I said, why not? Because I always wanted to have the freedom to do what I wanted to do. I've been an entrepreneur since I was 19 years old. After I finished doing construction, I never had a regular 9 to 5. I understand what it is to live because you can't die with anything. All you can die with is your experiences and the things you've done. Make a long story short, at BET, when I got put on TV, I just started, I wasn't taking it serious. I was just, jumping around, having a good time, and da-da-da-da-da-da. And then before you knew it, I said, wait a minute. We're the #1 show, and AJ and Free are giving me this publicity, and I'm trying to play my cards right and navigate through some of the snakes and try to pull you out of it and stuff like that. Man, once AJ and Free left and I booked my first national commercial, all right, this is the God's honest truth. When I booked the Burger King commercial, I was working on Get Rich or Die Trying. I was doing bodyguard work. I was working for 50 at the time. Not for 50, the production company, the security company that was providing security for him on the movie. But he knew me from 106 in Park, so that's how we got to know. But who would think 10 years later, I'm working with him, more than 10 years later, I'm working with him on For Life. It's just funny how God works, how things come full circle. He knew that I was trying to become an actor, and I was supposed to play that role that Omar got, Omar Benson. I was supposed to play that character because my boy Tuffy, shout out to Tuff, he gave me the opportunity, but he said, Sean, do you have your SAG card? I didn't have my SAG card yet, but when I booked the Burger King national commercial after the movie, after I finished working, then I had my SAG card, so I wasn't able to get that role. because I was still doing both. I was doing security and I was acting, and it was starting to become a conflict. Make a long story short, after I booked the Burger King commercial and I saw the money that started coming in, that's when shit got real. That's when, dude, I come from driving cab, lifeguarding, construction. I work on local 18A concrete cement. I know what hard work is. I know what it is to have, 15 or 20 number fives, 30-footers putting down slab, whether it's Zariga Airways, the Brooklyn courthouses. I did hard manual labor. Nobody knows hard labor.
But isn't that the business though, bro? Isn't that the business of laying? I mean, it's sort of the blueprint. When you're building a house, you start with the layout, the blueprint of the plan,
bro.
And then you start.
I was a rebar laborer, the hardest work in the world. And back then, I was making $48 an hour. I was happy. I was like, holy shit, I'm a construction worker. This is great. I got an annuity. I'm doing it. Then I got hurt. But when I got that first check from that damn commercial, I'm not even gonna lie to you, bro. My life started with struggle. That shit got real for me. I said, I'm not playing. I started going to acting class. I started reading podcast. I was listening to anything and everything, surrounding myself with people, and then came the soap operas in 2006. But I remember my first commercial I went out on was my first audition for a commercial. God bless me, and I booked it. It was the silliest shit, but they wanted me, and I played Big Pete,
I remember the commercial. Yep,
the chicken fries. Then from there was Boost Mobile, Dunkin' Donuts, and then back in 2011, then I hit some more haymakers, Dr. Scholl's and Nexium. But the blessing, if I didn't see the money, that's where I feel like I have an unfair advantage. If I never saw the money, I would have probably quit. But that's why when I didn't get any commercials from 2008 to 11, I went out on at least 55, 60 auditions. None of it deterred me because I knew it was real. So if many actors in the beginning of their career didn't taste the success or taste the money or see the checks come into the account, come into your loan out, that's why a lot of people quit, because it's like, do they really feel that it's real? Can they sustain themselves for 2-3 years with no type of real income? But I was fortunate enough to get that hit, and I'm grateful to God for it, because if I never saw that success, if I never saw that check on the first commercial, nobody could tell me nothing. It was more money that I had made, like doing odd end jobs, selling motorcycles. I'm talking like the first check was like $14,000. I was like, what the f***?
So I mean,
it came again. They kept like 2-3 checks were coming every week for that one quarter. I was like, God damn, what a blessing! That was the blessing. I would not be here where I'm at if I never had those success on those commercials, because I probably would have quit, because I like getting money. I like I don't like struggling, and I've struggled in this business. It was a time I struggled.
Well, I think that you have to struggle to appreciate what I always say. Like, people sit there and say, like, people will say, "Hey, D, you're successful." And I'm like, no, I've always looked at success as something that is when you're done. Like, when you've hit every mark that you wanted to do in your life, that's success. To me,
exactly.
I look at my life and my story, which is similar to yours. It's not successful, it's progressful. Because if I didn't go through those struggles, I wouldn't know what it feels like to fight for something, to want something, to earn something. I mean, I can't do a job, no matter what it is, if I know I haven't earned that job, if I haven't earned that spot, if I know that I'm not giving my all. And that's why, for me, like, I treat every audition, every job, every project, everything like it's my last. That's my mindset, is like, this could be my last. So if I was to leave the world today, I want to leave a mark in some capacity that someone says, hey, like when we just lost DMX, he left a mark. He left an impact in the world. That, to me, is the goal of success. So for you, like, for someone, and everyone has their own story, and you've been sharing your story. If you were out there to reach out to a younger actor or a person that's inspired to get into the business, one, what advice would you give them? And two, considering that you've worked in all mediums, commercial, daytime, prime time, and film, what for you was the harder medium to work into between those avenues of acting? And what would you say has been the biggest struggle or hurdle for you in those four mediums of daytime, primetime, commercial, and motion picture film?
Make sure that anyone that's aspiring to be an actor or be in entertainment business or director, producer, make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. Are you truly passionate about it? Because most people, like I said, when they see the level of resistance that they're going to be met with, they crumble. Most people, that's why, I forgot the percentage of people that only make a certain amount past six figures, because most people in the beginning can't deal with it. I dealt with it during the middle, not at the beginning, because I told you I got money from my commercials. I'm very grateful to God for that. Like I said, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for that. I don't believe I would have probably quit. And I don't quit at anything. I'm very, I don't quit. A lot of people doubt, and I just smile. And then they see a posting, they're like, but anyway, moving forward, they have to do it for the right reasons. They have to want it. Have thick skin. There's a book that I read called Rhinoceros Skin. The amount of rejection, that's a part of it. Surround yourself with supportive people. Make sure, if you can in the beginning, if you know that this is a journey that you're going to be pursuing, try to be smart with your money, so when money isn't coming in, you're not distracted. Because when I got One Life to Live, I shouldn't have got that either. I just finished working at Club Cheetah, not Club Cheetah, at Club Esso. I can't remember the club I was working at. LQ, Latin Quarter. I needed a black mock neck, and I didn't have one at home. I got out of work at 4 o'clock in the morning. The audition was 9 o'clock at ABC Studios. When I tell you I was dead tired, and these are things that I'm putting in my book that I don't be telling people, because a lot of people, when I talk about success is built on inconvenience, they have no freaking idea. So I'm working, at the club, at Club LQ in Manhattan. I have this audition that I have to do, and it was just under 5 lines. I was nervous. It was my first time going into a corporate network building like ABC. I'm like, holy shit. I already booked the commercials, but this was, this is now acting. Like, commercials wasn't a really big deal for me. I just said, act funny, act silly, that's cool. But now we're talking about memorization, being, in the scene. So I couldn't find a mock neck. I went to the most expensive place because they were opened at 9 o'clock. Rochester Big and Tall on 6th Avenue. Anybody knows that place? It's expensive as hell. That mock neck, I think I still have it because I saved it, because people would never know how I got I believe that when you walk in the door, you want to be that character. That's what I do. I speak for myself. That thing cost me $200 and something. It was my money that I made from.
What was it, cashmere in that mock neck?
Yeah, it was. I like nice shit, bro. You know that. I want them to come and say, wow, this guy looks like the character. So I buy this mock neck, find parking, get inside the thing. Dude, I forgot under 5 lines. I said a couple of lines. I was like, wait, do it again. One more time. I was so frustrated because I was so tired from the night before. The same day, I didn't sleep. And I said to her, her name was Tori. She was a casting agent at ABC. I said, look, I cursed at her in a nice way. I was like, look, I do this shit for real. This is a bodyguard role. I live this. Look at my website. Look, I just finished working at 16. I worked 16 hours. I haven't slept since yesterday. Look, this is easy for me to do. I just really need to get sleep. I was so beat, bro. I walked out. 20 minutes later, I got a phone call from a manager. You're the new bodyguard on One Life to Live. The rest has been history. Who would know that I would have my poster or my picture downstairs next to Whoopi Goldberg and the whole thing in the view in the lobby? Who would have ever known that it would have ended up, like I said, 7 years, 198 episodes? But God honors commitment. A lot of people forget that. You don't have to be perfect. Sometimes I don't even know how I got that. Most people said, wow, he was unprofessional. He said, I cursed, and which I don't advise to do in a casting. And I was like, I do this shit for real. She must have felt it. I'm like, this is nothing. I just haven't slept. I can't even remember my name right now. I said something like that. She laughed. But I said, this is easy for me to do this. I can do this with my eyes closed. And I got the role. It was a blessing. I love Tory forever because somebody else could have took it the wrong way and then call me back. So I would say anybody going into this business, you have to go above and beyond in order to get to where it is you want to go. Be around the right people. And like I said before, make sure you're doing this shit for the right reasons. So many people aren't doing it for the right reasons, and that's why they quit quick. They quit. If you're passionate about it and you know that you have a place and that there is a place for you in this industry, but then I hate to say this too, man, because everybody can't make it. I have some mentors that really, bring some real shit to me, man. Not everyone is built for this. So many people, they're not comfortable enough in their own skin. They're not coming off natural on camera. A lot of people just can't deal with the rejection, and they care about too much about what their family thinks.